Practical Machinist and I decided to, Practical Machinist decided to get this discussion together to talk about what we're doing about COVID, share some of our experiences, and try to have a little bit of a roundtable discussion on what we're doing to stay safe and productive during these trying times. We're having a rough go over right now, but fortunately we do have some subsidies coming in shortly that we're hoping to keep people employed and stay open. We're intending to stay open as long as we can. You know, it is a bit of a unprecedented situation, so we're trying to take it day by day. I don't know if there is any right answer, as I talked about before. I don't want to rehash too much of it in case you guys have already seen that video. But I don't think there is a right answer on whether we stay open or whether we close right now. But we are trying our best to stay open as long as we can stay healthy with it, as long as we can keep everybody safe.
3 weeks ago, we had an idea. We decided that being a parts manufacturer, we really can't make a ventilator from scratch, but we could be part of a team that makes ventilators and provide really quick tooling, either prototype or production, to provide parts quickly. So that same day, we thought, you know, we saw some of these face shield designs. We thought, well, we should be able to do better than that. And it was a spark at 8:30 in the morning on a Monday, 3 weeks ago. And that afternoon, my medical customer called me and said, we just got a call from the Israel government, and they're looking for 25 million face shields. So with that, we're like, oh, okay, interesting, because we started designing one this morning. 5 days later, we had a patent pending on the design. We applied to the Canadian government for a grant through NGen for $5 million. And by Monday, we did the pitch. And by Tuesday, we were approved. So we were funded with $5 million to tool up this design here. This is the face shield. And it's to protect people, splash protection from people spitting on you. It's used for frontline workers, as well as if you wanted to go to the grocery store. So it's been a crazy ride, because from 3 weeks ago, we went from concept to a patent within 5 days, to a grant approved on the Monday, to kicking off $2.5 million worth of tools across Canada, across Ontario. So we've got 7 shops tooling for us. Right now, we are going to mass production on Monday, and within the next 4 to 6 weeks, we'll be up to 300,000 face shields a day. You know, my advice to anybody, you know, when we started this, I had always promised every employee that works for me, I'll never lay anyone off until I've sold my house and not taken a wage myself. We were successful at that through the recession in 2008. And our strategy then was applied here, same thing it was then, which was don't hesitate. So everyone else hesitates. And when you hesitate, you lose a race, whether it be a 100-meter race or a Formula F1 car. Is you don't hesitate, just keep moving forward, because everyone else is going the opposite direction. So it's really cool to win a race when people are running the opposite direction and you're running forward. You're going to win the race for sure. And then when you turn around and look back, there's nobody behind you, and those are your competitors. And they're so far behind and you're so far ahead that now opportunities are created for you. In this case, COVID has touched everybody. And it's the first time ever in the history of time that everyone in the world is sharing in something. And it's pretty cool to watch everyone collaborate and pull together and try to figure out what we need to do to get control of this.
My boss, he promised us that we're going to come back. And he's like the other, I think his name was David, said he promised us, he's like, I will not fully lay anybody off. Unfortunately, because we weren't essential, he had to lay us off because we're shut down in the state. But he said, I will not permanently lay anybody off. He said, I promise you guys will come back when we come back.
This is what we're making, a bunch of 3D printed face shields. Goes right on there with the rubber band. We were able to talk to our school district to get 24 3D printers set up at a middle school. So we now have enough PETG to make 11,000 face masks. So we kind of had to switch gears a little bit because we only have 24 printers. That's about 200 a day we can 3D print. So we're now working with a local injection molder and all the other robotics teams who are doing this. There's tons of them. Some of them have reached out to us to get the plastic from us. So we're just trying to get it turned into face shields as fast as we can.
We've been trying to reach out to local companies because there's a lot of the big ADM companies that have switched over from whatever they were doing to medical, and they're in desperate need of machinists or operators. And we're trying to come up with ways of what we can do virtually, included with, even sending out a little kit, something to the students, so they do have the hands-on aspect of the training that will qualify them to get an entry-level position, just so all these shops can have all hands on deck and really keep pumping out everything needed for the medical industry right now.
I'm confident in the metalworking industry. As I see, our sales are still good. So I got to believe other cutting tool companies are still doing good. I don't see a lot of machine shops closing up. I will say I see machine shops and our salespeople coming back to let us know that they're still working a lot of hours. If they were busy before, they're still busy. Again, not so much the aerospace people. And that's good. That's great. That's positive. If your shop is still doing well, I applaud you for that.
Thank you very much, everybody, for coming in. Before you go, Practical Machinist just wants to take a picture, a screenshot of this. So everybody, can you wave for me? Everybody wave. We'll see if it'll stay up for 30 seconds. Keep going. I know this is awkward, but we want to get a good picture. There we go, guys. You're all so beautiful.